Because when that day comes and you go up to the pearly gates and you're walking up the stairs and you're seeing God in front of you and you just ask that question, did I do a good job? Did I do the right thing? And just hope he says, hey, come on in. I did a good job.
This is Bruce Jenner transitioned now into Caitlyn Jenner. Now I'm going to show a couple more videos, so wait till the end. But him asking that question just makes me question, does he even read the Bible? Because if you read the Bible, you realize that it's not about coming into agreement with what our fleshly desires want. It's not about coming into agreement with what our mind is telling us. But it's about dying to who we are and what we want to pick up our cross and follow Christ. So while Bruce transitioned into Caitlyn Jenner, which his mind was telling him he came into agreement with the world instead of with God.
Expecting a baby girl in November. We're doing great. Aren't we, honey?
Wonderful, wonderful. We had everything done. We had all our amnio done. We've gotten over every hurdle.
Yeah.
Everything's fine.
So we go from Bruce Jenner there to Bruce Jenner here.
You a woman?
Yes, for all intents and purposes, I am a woman. People look at me differently. They see you as this macho male.
Now, how do you get to that point? You get to that point by coming into more and more agreement with something you believe you can't stop. For example, I have a friend who was sober all his life, and then he started drinking. It started with small amounts, and it got more and more and more as time progressed. Then he got to the point where he was just coming into acceptance of being an alcoholic. He would say, I can't stop it, so I'm just going to accept it, which is the same thing what happens to a lot of these homeless people. They accept being alcoholics. They've come into agreement with what was in their head that they believe they can't stop. So Bruce has something in his head and something in his mind that he believed could not be stopped. He couldn't overcome it. But trust me when I tell you this, things that come into our consciousness that are not of God are only put there so that we can see them, take dominion over them, and overcome it. By overcoming it, we become stronger. As it says in 1CORINTHIANS 10:13, no temptation has overtaken you that is not common to man. God is faithful, and he will not let you be tempted beyond your ability. With the temptation, he will also provide the way of escape that you may be able to endure it. Job went through hell and back, but he overcame it, and God gave him more than he had previously. Every storm that is put in our way is only for us to overcome it. Trials and tribulations are only there to build us spiritually. But in order for us to overcome it, we have to truly come into submission of Christ, who is the key to freedom. Come into submission and full surrender and allow the Lord to do a work in us. Christ, who is perfect, needs to manifest in us, who is not perfect. And from glory to glory to glory, we become more and more into perfection and more into oneness with God. And the more we do that, the more we come out of sin. Pray for Bruce.